What if I told you that her silence wasn't strength, but self-preservation? That the woman who walks away without looking back may not be as untouched as she seems. That sometimes the one who looks like they've won the breakup is carrying the quietest kind of regret, the one too heavy to admit and too stubborn to share. You see, the pain we carry later in life isn't always loud. It doesn't announce itself in arguments or tears. It's subtle. It shows up in the stillness, in the quiet evenings, in the way we replay what we could have said or should have seen. And for many men, especially those of us who've lived long enough to know what real love costs, those echoes cut deeper than any words. There's something no one tells you about growing older. You become more aware of time, of energy, of how much it costs to invest in someone who never truly saw you. And when that someone leaves and pretends it meant nothing, smiling for the world while your world goes quiet, it's natural to wonder, was I really that easy to forget? But here's the Stoic truth that most never hear. What she shows is not always what she feels. And what you feel, though heavy, is not weakness. It's proof that you lived with depth, that you risked vulnerability, that you gave something real. And yet most men are told to chase, to fix, to win her back. But desperation is not strength. Persuasion is not healing. When you beg, you lose something sacred, your dignity. When you stop chasing, you begin to remember who you were before the doubt crept in. When you walk in silence, not to manipulate but to rebuild, you start to reclaim yourself. This isn't about revenge. This isn't about making her see what she lost. This is about making sure you don't lose yourself trying to be seen. So today, we're going to explore 7 Stoic insights that will shift how you interpret her indifference, and more importantly, how you respond to it. Because it's not your job to carry her silence. It's your responsibility to protect your peace. And by the time we're done, you'll understand one thing with unwavering clarity. You don't need her regret to rise. You only need your own return. Let's begin. 9 Stoic lessons on her silence and your power. Lessons number 1. Her indifference is not strength, it's self-protection. When she walks away without flinching, don't be fooled. That quiet exit may not be made of confidence. It may be built from fear. Many women have learned to hide their pain behind composure, to turn their face from what hurts and hope the silence will protect what's left of their pride. But as Epictetus reminds us, it's not things that upset us, but our judgments about things. Her silence is not proof that you meant nothing. It may be the only way she knows how to survive losing something real. Lessons number 2. Regret is a quiet visitor, but it always comes. Society teaches her to move on fast, to upgrade, to never look back. And for a time, she may even believe she's doing just that. But time has its own wisdom, and in those late-night moments when the world has gone quiet and no one is watching, she begins to feel the weight of what she left behind. It comes when she sees your growth, your peace, your stillness. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Time is like a river. No sooner is a thing seen than it is carried away." Regret flows back into the soul not through drama, but through the silence of missed depth. Lessons 3. Begging is not love. It's surrendering your dignity. When a man kneels before a woman who's already walking away, he may think he's fighting for love. But what he's really sacrificing is his center. A Stoic man understands that real love cannot be begged for. Seneca reminds us, a man who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary. Pleading doesn't change hearts. It confirms her decision. What commands true respect is not desperation, but discipline. You don't chase, you retreat with grace. And that silence carries more power than any plea ever could. Lessons number 4. Stillness disrupts the script she expects. She expects a reaction, anger, confusion, longing. But when you respond with quiet composure, she begins to doubt the story she's written. Why isn't he chasing? Did I misjudge him? This isn't about playing games, it's about self-possession. The Stoics taught that nothing is more powerful than being the master of one's reactions. She may have anticipated chaos. Instead, she meets calm, and that calm shakes her more than any argument ever could. Lessons number 5. True power is found in indifference, not hatred. To hate her is to remain tied to her. To obsess is to stay beneath her influence. But to become indifferent, to no longer need her to validate your worth, that is freedom. When she no longer takes up space in your heart, when you stop watching her life from the sidelines, you don't lose her, you regain yourself. The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength, said Marcus Aurelius. In indifference, there is peace. In peace, there is power. Lessons number 6. Silent rebuilding is the most noble revenge. You don't need to post about your healing. You don't need her to know how far you've come. The most powerful transformation happens when no one is looking. You rebuild not to impress her, but because you deserve wholeness, and the irony, she will feel it. The still strength of a man who no longer needs the past echoes louder than any grand gesture. As Epictetus teaches, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Rebuild in silence and rise beyond her reach. Lessons number 7. When she returns, she's not seeking love, she's testing control. Sometimes she reaches out, not out of love, but to check if she still holds space in your heart. A casual message, a nostalgic memory. It's not always reconciliation, it's a test. A man ruled by emotion responds with hope. A man shaped by stoic clarity pauses. He reads the intention beneath the words. You don't owe her a doorway back into your peace. What was broken, if built again, must be built on truth, not impulse or ego. Lessons number 8. Your growth is the only closure you'll ever need. You may never hear "I'm sorry." She may never say, "I regret letting you go." But that doesn't matter, because your closure doesn't come from her. It comes from who you've become in her absence. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." And the man who has walked through loss and come out wiser, kinder, and more at peace, that man is no longer waiting for anything. He is living. Lessons number 9. When she feels it, you won't need to know. Regret doesn't wear a sign. It doesn't arrive with a message. It visits quietly in the moments she sees what she can no longer reach. And by then, you will have gone too far to look back. Your life will be rich with new meaning. Your heart will be full with self-respect, and you won't need her to feel regret because your soul will no longer need her recognition to be at peace. Contrast, the stoic man versus the emotionally entangled man. It's one thing to feel pain, it's another to be ruled by it. There's a quiet but defining line between the man who is stoic and the man who is emotionally entangled. One moves with intention, the other reacts out of need. One knows how to let go, the other clings not because he loves, but because he fears what his life means without her in it. Let's make the contrast real, because in this contrast lies your power to choose your path forward. The emotionally entangled man lives in reaction. He checks his phone a dozen times a day, not for opportunity but for her name. His mood rises and falls depending on what she posts, what she says, what she withholds. His thoughts circle in tight, anxious loops: what went wrong, what he could have said, what she might be feeling. He's not present in his life, he's present in hers. The stoic man, he feels the sting too. But he lets the pain inform him, not define him. He doesn't run from heartbreak, he allows it to be a teacher. He doesn't seek distractions, he seeks alignment. He doesn't try to escape the silence, he learns to become still inside it. Because that stillness reveals something the world rarely does. That peace is not found in being loved, but in being anchored. Seneca once said, "A man who suffers before it is necessary, suffers more than is necessary." The emotionally entangled man is trapped in imagined conversations, rehearsed confrontations, and endless what-ifs. He suffers not from what is, but from what he believes could have been. The stoic man, however, remains grounded in what is. He understands that no one owes him permanence, not even love. He knows the only thing he is promised is his own soul. And to preserve that, his reason, his dignity, his sense of direction is worth more than being chosen by someone who's already left. Where the emotionally entangled man waits for closure, the stoic man creates it. Where one hopes to be validated, the other validates himself through how he shows up in the world. Not with loud declarations, but with quiet consistency. Not with ego, but with self-command. The emotionally entangled man is a leaf in the wind, tossed by her attention, unsettled by her absence. The stoic man is a rooted tree, bending when necessary, but never uprooted by someone else's storms. And this is the heart of Stoicism. Control what you can, let go of what you cannot, and never hand your inner peace to anyone else. So ask yourself, in this very moment, what man are you becoming? The man who waits to be seen, or the man who sees clearly? The man who lets others write his story, or the one who picks up the pen? There is no shame in having loved, no shame in hurting. But there is strength in choosing not to be ruled by that pain. There is freedom in walking forward, not bitter, not broken, but whole. Whole, because you reclaimed the only thing that was ever truly yours, your mind, your values, your path. And when you live like that, you don't just become a Stoic man, you become a man no one can shake. Let's continue, because this isn't just about rising, it's about staying risen. She walked away, she turned her back, she acted like it didn't matter. But now, after everything you've been through, here's what truly matters. You didn't fall apart, you didn't crumble. You didn't chase something that wasn't meant to stay. Instead, you stood still. You breathed. You gathered yourself not out of pride, but out of wisdom. And in that silence, something unshakable began to form. Not the desire to win her back, but the clarity to no longer need her at all. This is the essence of the Stoic rebirth. Not the absence of pain, but the awakening that comes through it. Because when you stop needing someone else's validation, when you stop assigning your worth to how someone else feels about you, you return to your rightful place, steady, focused, undivided. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." So what will yours be? Bitterness, regret, or resilience? You get to decide. You've seen what happens when emotions rule a man's life. You felt the confusion, the chasing, the need. And now, standing on the other side, you've also tasted something rarer: stillness, dignity, and the strength that doesn't come from being chosen, but from choosing yourself. So here's what I ask you to do right now. Honor the man you're becoming. Keep walking forward. Don't look back. Don't look for closure. You are the closure. You are the beginning and the rebirth. Let her wonder. Let her regret. That part is no longer your business. Your focus now is on your path, clear, powerful, and unshakable. And if this message stirred something in you, stay connected. Subscribe to Ultimate Stoicism and join a community of men walking the same path. Leave a comment below, share your story, your clarity, or simply write, "I choose peace." Because your words might be the light another man needs. And together we rise not by chasing what's gone, but by standing tall in who we are now. Stay strong, stay still, and stay free. This is your time.